Journaling has seen a major resurgence in recent years. Studies keep coming out not only about the mental but physical health benefits of journaling. That said, the idea of starting a journal can seem daunting to some. It looks like it takes a lot of time, requires artistic talent, a lot of pens, and is emotionally draining. True, it can be all of these things, but it really doesn't have to be. It can be much easier. Hi, I'm Ryder, creator of the Bullet Journal Method, and today I'm going to show you how you can quickly start a minimal but very powerful journaling practice. Let's begin. Let's begin by briefly discussing what you should write about in your journal before we talk about how to journal. You can journal about anything, but I think it's important to have an intention to anchor your practice around. I made a video about this that you can check out here, but the short version is before you start journaling, ask yourself, what do you want to get out of journaling? What makes you curious about this practice? Clarity, organization, calmness, being less forgetful, better mental health, self-awareness? There are no wrong answers here, just something that really speaks to you. Take a moment to think about it. See if you can write it down in 1 or 2 sentences. This intention will provide the lens and the purpose for your journaling practice. Without a purpose, your practice can feel meaningless. Don't worry, you can always change it again later as you start getting the hang of it. Next, let's take a look at how you can capture your thoughts using a technique I invented called rapid logging. Let me ask you a question. What was the last meaningful thing somebody said to you? Or something a bit easier, what did you have for lunch 2 days ago? If you can't remember, you're not alone. We can't rely on our memory to accurately capture our experiences, but experiences are incredibly valuable. Experiences, whether they're good or bad, are lessons. Writing down our thoughts, feelings, and experience gives us an opportunity to study them and to understand the lesson that they're trying to teach us. The problem is that our lives are infinitely complex with countless things to keep track of. Rapid logging solves this issue by helping you organize your thinking into one of 3 main categories of thought: things you need to do, your tasks, things you experience, events, and things you don't want to forget, notes. Each category has its own symbol to help upgrade a basic bulleted list into one with more context and function. These symbols will allow you to quickly capture and contextualize your thoughts in real time throughout the day. It will also help you scan your page edges and quickly find what you're looking for later on. Let's cover the basics of each bullet type. The task bullet is represented as a dot, making it faster, cleaner, and more flexible to use than a traditional checkbox. Our tasks have different states. They begin, they pause, they end, they resume, they move. That's another reason why we use a dot. It can be easily transformed to reflect various states of a task. An open task starts as a dot. Once it's completed, it's turned into an X. If you need to move a task elsewhere in your notebook, that dot turns into an arrow pointing in the direction you moved that item in your notebook. If a task is no longer needed, you can strike it out. If a task requires multiple steps to complete, it can be laid out as a master task with many subtasks nested beneath it. This way, you can quickly break down a task into smaller, more manageable steps. This also turns that task into a little progress bar as you make your way through. Events are represented by the circle bullet. These are experience-related entries. You can use them to write down things before they happen, but I usually use them to write things after they happen, just to create a record of the event. For example, if you want to write down something that you already did, it would not be a task, it would be an event. This can help you keep track of your actions that you didn't plan to do ahead of time. When logging experiences, we want to keep it simple. Rather than trying to capture the emotional complexity of an experience, simply write down what you observed. Last day at work, big fight today, closed on house. We write things down this way not because we're robots. We do this because it's faster and easier, which increases the likelihood that we will actually write it down and keep writing down events. This helps keep our record more complete and accurate over the long term. With that said, if you want to unpack an experience through longer form journaling, I recommend doing it in the next day or 2 while it's still fresh in your mind. The other option is to pair the event bullet with the final bullet type. Notes are represented with a dash. Notes can be facts, ideas, thoughts, observations, and feelings. The purpose of the note bullet is to capture noteworthy information that isn't actionable. This bullet lends itself well to classes, meetings, as well as emotions. Notes can also be nested under tasks and events to capture important details. This is a quick way to add color and context to your entries, like your biggest takeaways or any strong feelings that were present during the time. Big or small, everything we do, everything we experience, provokes some emotional response. The notes bullet lets us quickly capture those responses. Over time, a record of those responses can help us correlate how we feel with what we do and what we experience. As you can see, there's a surprising amount of information that becomes available to us by triangulating these three types of thought. Of course, there are many types of thoughts, and there are more types of states, and that's what signifiers are for. Signifiers can be used to provide additional context at a glance. These are placed to the left of the bullets, making them easy to notice. Two examples of signifiers that I use are an asterisk for priorities and an exclamation mark for inspiration or ideas. This way I can quickly find what's most important to me while scanning my pages. Okay, let's put this all together. To set up a minimal but effective journaling practice, start by setting an intention. This will help you frame your thoughts and give your practice purpose. Then throughout the day, write down the things you need to do, the things you don't want to forget, and the things that you experience. Write them down as short bulleted sentences so it will make it more likely that you continue to keep logging these things. And that's really it. Simply by implementing these two steps, you've created a powerful foundation for a journaling practice. You now have the tools you need to quickly offload information throughout the day. And once you do that, you're left with a clear, categorized list of prioritized thoughts. Over time, this will create a very accurate record of what worked, what didn't, what you want more of, what you want less of. Cultivating this type of self-awareness through journaling will allow you to make choices that are informed by your lived experience. This is just the tip of the iceberg, though. If you would like to learn more about bullet journaling, I invite you to check out our Basics and Beyond course, where we dive into all of this in much deeper detail: rapid logging, journaling, daily, weekly, monthly logs and rituals, and more. Link to that and other resources below. If this video was helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy bullet journaling.